Good morning, friends. Till the last class, we discussed up to rule 8. Now we'll go forward for further few rules, which is very essential for marketing management. Rule 9, identify your USP. USP is a very standard word which is being used or is floating in the marketing scenario. What's your USP? Everybody is trying to know. So basically, what is that uniqueness that your product has? It is like unique selling products or anything like P you can put for anything. Unique selling products that you can think of. So what is most important in this particular rule is first to identify the uniqueness of the product that you are selling, because you have reached the client's door. The client is using the similar kind of products since long. You are not the first time a seller going with a product like that. So you have to first find out the uniqueness of your own product. If you have understood that, then start your dialogue with that uniqueness. Don't start with the mundane discussions about the other features which are common in other products, competing products. So you first identify the unique sales point of your product. Okay. Now this unique sales point is very product specific. Every manufacturer are trying to make some uniqueness or bring some uniqueness or imbibe some uniqueness in the products that they are making, and always they are highlighting through brochures, through advertisements, through media. So you must first know that. You should know what they are. If you don't know, then I would say you are not yet prepared to go for marketing. First you have to know, for which you have to take the help of your technical team. And you can ask a number of questions to your technical team to know about these products, and always ask them that what's the uniqueness. People who designed, your team who designed this, people who have manufactured it, people who have tested the quality of it, people who are now branding this through sales promotions. Ask them as many questions as you can, and these questions are generally very unpalatable. Whenever asking these questions to your teammates, they generally don't like it. They would always try to highlight the uniqueness as they perceive, but your perception of the uniqueness has to be something different. You are meeting the client, your friends are not, your colleagues are not, your back-end staffs are not, your production team is not. So what is to be done is you first know what they are. If you know that this is the uniqueness, sometimes it may so happen that the uniqueness is not very clearly identifiable, but you as a salesperson try to find out what's the uniqueness of your product. Okay, so the unique selling points, which is very critical. Once you know them, if you know the USP, let me use a term called USP henceforth. If you know the USP of your product, then you should also know how to use them. It's not how to use them in terms of your marketing promotional thing. No, it's how to use that USP for the benefit of the customer, because customer is going to buy based on that USP. So whenever you are putting one particular product in comparison to your product and you are trying to highlight your product, the USP is the most important thing in which we are saying. You must have seen in the media there are lots of competing products who are advertising. Sometimes they become slightly more tough, or sometimes it is little unethical to say very negative about some other products which they are doing it. Okay, there should be another regulatory authority who is going to check about the ethics of that, or whether it's ethical nature of that particular kind of media promotions. But what I'm saying is you highlight all the points that is a common feature which is comparable with another products already in the market, and now you are going to say that this is the USP which is going to give you that extra benefit. If you remember, I said people don't buy the product really, they buy the benefits, they buy the end results. Okay, so in such cases you have to be very, very critical on that. This is a question I always ask the salesperson, whoever is trying to sell me one product, whether it is a fruit that he is selling, whether it's a vegetable that he is selling, or he is selling some household goods. I always ask a question very, very, during the conversation I always ask, have you used it? Have you used it? Have you seen it's good? If it's a fruit, have you tested it? most often people are taken aback because the salesperson thinks that he is highlighting all the points, all the goodness of the particular product. But if suppose asked, have you used it? Then in such cases, if they really have used it, they will always say, yes, I have done it. But the thing is, you also have to be very clever in this. If you are trying to buy a costly item which you know that the salesperson cannot afford it, you should not ask these questions that have you used it, because he cannot afford. How could he use it? So trying to buy a AC, a salesperson who may be getting a very nominal salary and his job is to do the marketing in the shop, and if you say that have you used it, it's not a very right question. But the thing is, for certain items which are household items, certain items which are very common, certain items which are within the affordable limit of most of the people, in such cases you can always ask, have you used? So the question which can come from your client or customer, it is better that you be prepared for it. Have you used them? Quite often I have also found some smart salesperson, and they are saying it very honestly. They say, sir, actually I have used it. I have seen it myself. It works. It works better than that particular product. Okay. But one thing I would like to highlight here, be very cautious when you are taking this particular statement like the salesperson is used. I have experienced one salesperson, he had been coming to me with his product literature and the product samples for years. If I recall roughly, for 10 years he had been coming to me, trying to sell his products. Basically he is requesting me to prescribe or specify his particular product of the laminates. Okay, the laminates which you do use for partitions, tables and all that, and the laminates which are over the wood materials or say MDF materials. Now that gentleman every time was highlighting their company's product is the best. That means they were always saying the USP of his own product. 10 years after, he changes his company, goes to the opponent's company, the competitor's company. He comes again to me with the product from that particular production group, manufacturing group, and he starts highlighting the USP of that. There I have taken a very serious stance. I have asked that particular salesperson, okay, for last 10 years you have been selling this particular product and you have been saying this is the best, and the other one was not the best. And today you have shifted your base from here to there, and now you are saying the one where you have gone to is the best. Be honest. Be honest in saying that which one is the best. I'll tell you, honestly the person then said which one is the best, and he had to say the company which he left, company which he represented for last 10 years is still the best. Okay, so this is basically, as a marketing person, you don't take any opportunity to fool your customer, because customers are also intelligent people like you. Okay, but however, the thing is, it is, have you really seen it? Have you used it? And these are very common things which you have to take care of it. When you have found that there is a USP in your product which you are now marketing, in such cases you first convert that USP to need, and then the need to want. And if you recall, I have already said that you turn the need to want and the want to closure, that means sell. Okay, so it's similar. If you have the USP in your mind and if you are convinced about the USP of it, you keep on speaking as much as you can. Convince your client and then ultimately convert that particular items to his need first, and then to want, and then to sell, so that he's ready now to part with the money and take that particular product. Another very important thing is required is you embed the USP in the brochure. That's what I said, that these are embedded in the brochure, in the media advertisements, and this embedding is very, very important. Okay, next is the rule 10. This is a very serious point. I would like to highlight certain things on this. Don't be price panicked. See, usually we expect that the client is price panicked, but I can tell you, the salespersons, they themselves are price panicked. How? A salesperson who is trying to market a costly item, he knows that this particular item is costly. He goes to a customer and he is now a little skeptic whether customer will accept the price or not. If internally you are suffering from high price panic of your own product, that will show on your face. Every time, every marketing person, whether it's in the shop or it's door-to-door marketing persons, when they know that their product is slightly higher than the other competing products. It shows in the face. But my suggestion is you don't have to be. The reason is, price panic will come when you think that the product is not worth the value of the price that you are asking for. That's why you are panicked. You are quoting high price and you are also ready to give some concessions. Okay, once you offer the concessions right on the first stage, then automatically the entire trust between the customer and you as a salesperson vanishes. Customer thinks that, okay, you raise the price first, now you are giving concessions. All these sales thing, sales business, year-end sales or season sales in all the shopping malls, that gives you a very clear idea. Some household furniture which you have seen in a shopping mall which was costing about 80,000 and in year-end sale you find that to be 45,000, what happens? What happens in your mind as a customer? First you think of it. As a customer, the customer will think, okay, in the beginning of the year when I came, at that time it was 80,000 and end of the year sale is 45,000. That means the remaining amount is the profit that we are trying to make. And since they could not make the profit, there are no such fools who bought it. So now they have to get rid of it so that they get their cost at least back with some bit of profit. That's why they have reduced the price. The moment there is a sharp difference between the original price and the year-end sale, which is concessions, then entire trust vanishes. It is because of which everybody waits for the year-end sale. And whenever there is a discount of say 40 to 50%, people wait for it and then they go and buy. Same article he is buying 1 year after. In 1 year after, this does not get devalued by 50%. That's very, very sure. Okay. Here my suggestion is, dear marketing person, you don't have to be price panicked. Means you don't have to be price panicked about your own product's price. You should always see what is the value of it. Okay. And if you may give some concessions as per the policy of your company, but the concession should not be such which gives a different kind of illusionary idea about the actual price of that particular product in the mind of the customer. This you have to be very careful. Okay. Your product need not be really cheapest. It is not necessary that your product has to be cheapest. You have a good product which has a high value in terms of its functionality, in terms of its worthiness. So why should you bother that whether it is cheapest or high? It is high. You go and say boldly to the client that this is high. You can also say this is higher than that particular competing product, but this is also feature wise, benefit wise, end result wise is better than the other product. So once you are very much convinced about it, then in that case you don't suffer from the price panic. Very few products are price sensitive. In fact, it is true. No such products are very price sensitive. Every company, when they work out the prices, first they will take the cost, then they will start thinking about the profit. And the profit margin where they really play with means how much they can make adjustments in the profit. So what they do is just to enter into the market, they might give, they might sell that, lesser profit. But suppose there is a high demand and less of supply, in such cases they will be increasing the profit margins. Okay. So very few products are really that price sensitive. It is people buy, and I said the people do buy, when they think impulsively or emotionally or when they are guided by emotions. So next is, if price is the only factor, then salespersons were redundant. That means they were not required. So here the point is, price is one item, the value is another item, the worthiness of that particular product is another item. So it is, if it is high priced, don't bother. Many good shops or many branded shops, they don't really compromise on their prices. Sometime at the year-end sale, they give a little bit of discounts at 10 to 20% or 30% for one reason. What they do is they work out the entire cost comprehensively for the entire year's product. Okay, and then they see how much was their target profit, and then they check how much they have reached towards that target profit. If they have found that it has reached fairly well, then in such cases they think that okay, this particular product is likely to be out of fashion now if we hold it for long. So just not to lose the market because of the change in fashions, they try to get rid of it or dispose this off. At that time they give higher discounts. But the thing is, it's very, very surprising that every year some shopping malls, they keep on giving year-end sale. And every item is almost 40 to 50% discounted. Now, if really that was worthy of the original price, I could have understood that, okay, 10% discount is all right, fine. They are making adjustments of 10%, but how come it can be 40 to 50%? Many shops you will find that they really don't bother about the discount, or they don't even bother about the price, high price of their commodity. They simply say this is our price. And they can also say that because of the festivals, because of the year end, or because of the financial closure, we are giving 10% discount. That sounds very fair. Here I would say that don't be afraid of your price. You would rather be proud of your value. This is what I had been saying, price and the value, price and the value. Okay, there are three items: cost, price and the value. Okay, cost is the entire cost associated with manufacturing this, including reaching the particular spot from where it will be marketed. That means the shopping mall or the market or at your doorstep, entire cost. The price is the cost plus amount of profit that the manufacturers or producers are trying to derive out of it. So price minus the cost is basically the profit. But the value, I am hinting at value. The value is something which is absolutely depends on the worthiness of that particular product in the mind of the customer. You can only highlight the value, but you really cannot force the idea of value in the mind of the customer. You can highlight. You cannot say it is going to be valuable to you. Somebody who cannot afford, to him this particular product is absolutely not worthy, not valuable, because he can't afford it. Okay, so whenever you are trying to go for a product selling and it is of high price, then don't focus on the price, always focus on the value of it. And you will find that the customers who are genuine customers and who are knowledgeable customers or who are informed customers, they will buy it because they know the value of it. Don't apologize for your price. This is another. Quite often I have found the salesperson is saying, I'm sorry, the price is a little higher on this side, So, he's being apologetic. By being apologetic, he's trying to win the heart of mine or win the heart of the customer. My point is, if your price is high and it's worthy of the value, don't have to be apologetic. If you really want to help the customer by giving a little bit of discount, do that. But never be apologetic about your price. See, this is where the honesty of price comes. If suppose your price is really worked out based on a certain amount of profit which is very rational, reasonable, and the cost is this much, and this is the price which is below this particular price, there will be lesser profit which simply will be stressed on the finance of or capital of the company or manufacturers. In such cases, let the price be fixed. And you say no bargaining, no bargaining. Please try to see what's the value of it. Okay, so you don't have to be apologetic. This is one of the disease. Two diseases our salespersons suffer from. One is that they think that their price is high. That's a price panic of their own product. And the second thing is they become apologetic for that. Don't be. People buy values, not price. I said the customer thinks about the value. Whenever a customer is seeing your product, at that point of time he is trying to analyze that product's value or the worth of it or the utility of that particular product to himself or his family or his business, whatever. Okay, so basically people are buying based on the values, not on the price. If the value is really high, in such cases people don't really bother much for price. Of course, they will think about the competing prices. Let me give an example. Suppose in a family there are two children who are studying in schools and both of them have to get one laptop each because the school demands that the student should go with the laptop. It is currently happening like that. Many of the schools are saying that the student should, just like books and copies, students also should have a laptop. Now the question is the price. See, the laptop. Here the laptop has to have a value. There are different models of laptops, different configurations of laptops of different prices. Okay? For a student or his father to buy a laptop for his child, in such cases he is definitely bothered about the price, but he is first seeing it is valuable because it is required. Valuable means I don't say it's a costly items. No, value means it's worthy. The school is demanding, the child needs to carry a laptop. Okay, so first is a value, then he thinks about it, then he looks at the price. So worthiness of the value is very, very important. Okay, and people buy products and relations. This is important. I had been always highlighting that whenever you are trying to sell, people buy people. People sell to people. Here, people buy products based on their value and also based on the relationship that you have. Quite often you must have seen that you always prefer to buy from the same shop or from the same supplier or same vendor. It is mainly because the other vendors also will give you the services, the products and the services, but only because the relationship that you build, the trust that you built, which is going to ensure that if there is any problem, after sales services oriented problems, then this particular person is going to give me the either free services or he is going to be instantly giving services. That means the trust which builds up a relation between the vendor and the customer. And if the relationship between the customer and the vendor or the supplier or the salesperson is very, very glued, then it's very easy to sell even the costlier items. Then comes the rule 11. Here the point is, don't just talk, show. The product that you have, you don't have to always talk about your products, you have to show them. So demonstration is very, very important because people buy through eyes and ears. What is that ears and eyes? This is being taken care of by the media. In a TV you see a product. How many products that you see in a TV really you have seen in the real scenario? Not many. There are many products which have not even come to your local shopping malls or shopping areas, but you are seeing in the TV. That means now once you keep on seeing it repeatedly, you almost tend to get a temptation to buy. So people buy through eyes and ears. This has to be understood. It is because of which, see, when I am saying don't just talk, show, it's the media, it's a handouts, it's a information, it's a word of mouth information. These are the key things which you have to nurture with. Don't demonstrate until you are ready. This is a very serious thing I am saying. You will demonstrate a product once you are really ready with it. Means ready in terms of information, ready in terms of having a sample. In many of the shops, like whenever most often I have found that the mobile shops, when you go to a mobile shop, you find there are plenty of mobiles are kept in the showcases. You say that show me this one, he will take out from another box, not here. What is this? This is a dummy one. He is trying to attract you with many of the dummy mobile sets over there. They are dummy. Inside there is nothing. It's only the cover. Okay. I would say that the mobile shops, if suppose you say give me this and he brings out the actual sample from there itself, you have more trust on them because you are very much skeptic that they are showing so many dummies. That means they are not prepared. It may so happen quite often you will see that they are showing you a dummy. And then you say, okay, I would like to buy that. Then he will keep you waiting for some time. Go to their godowns or warehouses or to another shop to get that particular model. This is a very serious offense in terms of marketing. Point is, don't demonstrate until you are ready with your products. That means you should be ready with in all aspects. Show the mock-up or model products. This is a very nice way of doing it. That means you try to show the model and you show the mock-up for say large structures. In architecture we have found, whenever there is some kind of residences or group houses which are being sold, in such cases the entire towers are under construction, but one or two flats they make it absolutely a model one. The model totally as if what it would be once it is complete, and that is being shown. And why it is being shown? Because people cannot really make out what is going to be the final outcome of the flat for which he is putting in so much lakhs of rupees now, and the flat will come 2 years after. It's very difficult for any common person to really perceive that what's going to happen. Okay, so for which this particular mock-up is prepared. He enters and customers are taken to that mock-up or model flats or something, showing this is how it's going to be once finished. So we have finished only one unit for you. So, in multi types of housing, in such cases multiple types, at least one each, are made a mock-up or model. They say model flats. Model flats are already in demonstration. So, in such cases what you have to do is, whenever you have the products, you try to show some mock-ups. Quite often, when you are trying to sell your product to your investors or venture capitalists, that is also selling. In such cases, you have to show a demonstration of a mock-up. The mock-up is either in reduced scale. For big thing, mock-up to be in the reduced scale, or if it's a small one, make a one of the same size and then ultimately show. This is how the whole thing is, because people definitely want to see before they are convinced, before they really buy. Don't hand out product brochures unless requested. See, product brochures are a very interesting thing. That looks good, looks very attractive. Quite often, like say you have seen the product brochure which is very interesting, and then when you go really to see that, you will find that the product is not really as good looking as it looked in the product brochure, because in the brochure many fake pictures are given. Some pictures of some other country which is being embedded in the housing brochures, quite frequent. This particular practice is quite frequent. Somebody is trying to sell a property in the, say, one of the eastern part of the country, and the pictures of people who are sitting there near the swimming pool, they are of Singapore. It happens. The point is, product brochure is something which catches your attention. Fine. This is ethics and unethics that can be discussed later. But here my point is, if suppose you have a product brochure, then don't hand it over to the customer unless it is requested. It's not a handbill that somebody is passing by, please look at this, please look at this. No. Somebody has to be curious. Somebody's interest has to be developed. You first show them the sample somewhere, and then if somebody is more keen to get all the ideas about the specs and all the specifications and all that, then one has to request, can I have the brochure? And then you hand out the brochure, and you only handle the brochure when you are sure that this person is likely to buy. That means you are going to check, at least make a mental check of the affordability of that particular person who is seeking or asking for a brochure. So don't hand out just like that, because brochures are costly. So the point is, you never hand over your product brochure, but certainly it is very important that you have to hand over brochures. You have to hand over your visiting cards, brochure and CD, or visiting cards at least when you are meeting first time. Here I would like to point out a very serious matter. See, quite often a salesperson thinks that giving a visiting card is the task. It's almost a duty, it's a ritual. So what somebody does is gives a visiting card. All right, how it is done? There are different ways of giving visiting cards. Somebody gives it like this, somebody gives it like this, somebody gives it like this. Okay, somebody hands over in such a manner. Suppose at the same time the other person is also giving a card, then which hand you will give the card with and which hand you will take. Usually our courtesy says that the right hand should be used for giving or even taking, but you are mutually giving the cards and taking the cards. This is a very, very serious issue. People don't know how to practice it. Okay, and my experience, which I shared with my management students, is this: visiting card, first of all, you consider this particular visiting card as your one of the very, very rare possessions. The customer must earn the privilege of getting your visiting card. You make as many prints as you want, but don't keep on spreading wherever you want. Don't do that. The first thing I would say, that give the visiting cards with a feeling. That means it should be given with a very strong feeling, as if you are almost parting out, with another very precious things of yours. And the person whom you are giving, you are feeling very, very, privileged to give it to him. When you are asking for the card, at the same time, also you do the similar manner. What happens for a salesperson is, he gives the card and he requests for a card in return. Quite often you must have seen that the customer says, yes, I don't have my card now, I have finished my cards. Basically he doesn't want to give you. And if he is taking your card, that means he wants to keep your card for future references, but he doesn't want to share his card to you. But you cannot really expect that a person of such authority does not have the cards in his purse. You can't expect it. The moment somebody says, I'm sorry, I don't have the card with me right now, I'll give you some time later, you just simply take it for granted he is not going to give you the card anyway. He is in no mood to give you the cards. But however, when you are giving, give it with a feeling. Now, interesting thing which I have experienced myself. Whenever you are giving a card, it's in the hand of the customer. Let's say I am the customer sitting, and suppose you are talking. My experience is I have found that while talking, the person is, he's playing with the cards like this. Or sometimes I have found that the people are playing with the card like this, because while talking, the hand gestures keep on, involuntary hand gestures with the card in between is this. I have also seen my card being rolled like a cigarette rolled. He is not aware that he is doing something with my card. And I had been watching at that time. You can understand my feeling that my card, which I have given him with the respect, with the feeling, he is playing with it involuntarily, not knowing that he is damaging my cards. And I have seen my cards being rolled like this. And at one point, I made a very serious point. I simply said, "Do you require another card of mine?" Then he realized that he spoiled my card. He rather disfigured my card. The point is, nobody likes his card to be misused. I have also seen such cases. In one case, I found that one person has given a card to another customer. The customer, while leaving the meeting, he left the card on the table. He did not even put it in his pocket, did not carry. That means he didn't really require the card, but he asked for it. So you have to be very, very sensitive about your own visiting card. This visiting card is your identity. This visiting card is your possession. So in such cases, if you find that somebody is folding this, somebody is folding like this, I've seen that. People are doing it. So whenever you give a card, give the card at the last. Don't simply go and hand over the card, because you are now living at the mercy of that other person, how he is going to handle the card. Quite often I have seen that somebody who takes the card, then he reads it. That's a respect. He is showing respect to you by reading your card. He is simply not taking and putting it at the side or putting it under the glass over the table. No, he is reading it, and once he reads it, then he knows more about you, and he reads more about the company, more about your credentials, and then he appreciates. So the visiting card is one of the very rare thing. I always say, whenever you are handing over the card, give it as if you are giving a very costly ceramic plate, a gift to somebody that you are afraid it might fall and break. That is the idea by which if you use your visiting card, then it will be respected, otherwise it will be just dumped. Okay, either dumped in the dustbin or dumped over the table, which will go by the, while sweeping the tables, or else it will be lost somewhere. Your visiting card lost its sheen, its value. Okay, be very, very careful. That's why I always say that visiting card you give only when you are asked for. The brochure you give when you are asked for. The CD you will give if it is asked for. Don't suddenly jump into a kind of activity saying, "Would you like to have my visiting card?" To give you a little bit of respect, he will say yes. He will take it and dump it. Okay? So when you are giving, give it with the feeling. Give it with the respect to yourself when you are giving the card to him. With respect and also with utmost care. This you retrospect your past experiences with your visiting card, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. Once I said this to my management students, and there were about, say, 180 students, and out of that there were about 40 who were professionals, experienced professionals, and they confirmed, yes, many of their cards have been misused in front of them itself. Many of their cards have been disfigured in front of them itself. How would you like that somebody is bending the cards like this? Because involuntarily, somebody is looking at you and speaking, and the hand is moving, and he doesn't know what he is fiddling with, and he is fiddling with your card. Sorry, this has to be taken care of very, very seriously. Then, rule 12. This particular rule is important. I suggest that don't knock the competition. Whatever the price you have for your product, whatever competition that you have, never knock the competition. Knock means knock it out. Okay, I am not talking about the knocking the door. I am talking about the knocking out. Make it a point that you are in the competition. As a marketing person, you must be there in the competitions. Don't be afraid or don't fear competitions. Because if you are producing something, unless it's a very, very proprietary item, that you are only one of the few who are preparing this, otherwise this particular thing is very, very critical. So don't fear competitions. Competition is a part of your marketing. Don't fear competitors' products or prices. You are producing your products, you are marketing your products, another manufacturer will market their products. You don't fear their prices. You don't think that they're cheaper. No, that you don't have to. Show concern to your clients. Whenever you're thinking about a competition, in such cases, competing with the others, and you show concern to the clients, that means you have come here to help him, to give him the best product that he should deserve, worthy of the price that he's paying, and earn confidence of the clients. If you earn the confidence of the client, then in such cases, price sometimes may go at the back end, and your relationship, the value highlighted, the USP of your product, that is going to earn you the sales. Never take negative feedback on clients from competitors. Friends, I'm telling you, this is one of the very serious thing. Quite often what happens is, I'll give an example. Two medical representatives from two different medicine companies sitting side by side. If you watch them waiting in the waiting lobby of the doctor to meet the doctor one after another as per appointment, then you'll find that these two are talking like friends. But basically they are competitors. Each one of them is representing another different companies, and they're representing for different medicines. The medicines may be of the similar nature. Okay, one person goes in, spends about half an hour, then he comes out, and then while going out gives a negative feedback about the doctor. Something like saying, this doctor is good, but the only thing is he's very rough. He just put one negative feedback in your ear. What happens in such cases is when you enter, you go with a negative mindset. You think that I am now going to meet a doctor who is of rough nature. Never take that seriously. Never. Always know that if your other competitor has lost the game while trying to sell the product, then he is also going to see that he is going to scuttle the ship and go. That scuttling the ship is he is going to put a negative feedback in your ear when you are going to go now. Never take it. Just take it with grace and say, okay, that's thank you very much for saying, but brush it out. Go with a clear mind, open mind, and the positive mind that you are going to meet a very nice doctor sitting in front of you. Okay, this is one thing which every marketing person has to learn. Some of the other rules is this: never take negative feedback on clients from inside. What I said is never take negative feedbacks on the clients from competitors. Here I am saying never take negative feedback on the clients from insiders. Something like, suppose you got an appointment to meet the chairman to talk about your products for presentation, and one of the insider is saying, see, there is no chance you are coming here, that this chairman has his own preferred supplier or the vendor. So it's just a show that he has given you some time, so he's going to spend the time with you, but don't trust him and don't even expect that you'll get the sale. Basically what has happened is these are negative feedback given by the insider to you. You take it very seriously because he's the insider, but you never know that this insider is basically supporting the other competitor of yours. If he's supporting the competitor of yours, then he is going to put you down emotionally or psychologically so that you play badly during your interaction with the chairman. So never take that. In every cases, any negative feedback obtained, my first suggestion, dear friend, is this: you just brush it out. You simply think, no, it is not true, cannot be true, would not be true. And then you go with the open mind, with a fresh mind, as if you are going to see a very nice person. If you go with the same mindset, then you will find it will become true that the person is good, and insider or his preferred competitor is trying to negate the whole game and scuttle the ship. Okay. It's very important that you identify your competitors. Still, I'm saying don't knock the competition. You are in the competition and you have to be in the competition. During your marketing, you have to be in the competition. If you be out of the competition, there is no question of discussing about the marketing, because your product is yours. Okay, so you identify who are your competitors. So whenever you find that you are going to go for a product sell, a product marketing, first you find out who are there in the market. And you must have a complete list. You should not have any hidden list, like say, or any hidden competitor from the list. That means you should not have a situation, you land up there, you find that there is another competitor whom you have not heard about, but they are giving a cheaper product and a better product. No, then you are going to lose the game. Play positive game. Always, for marketing, play positive games. It is always said that you knock 10 doors, one of the doors will respond to you positively and ultimately buy your product. Okay, this is important. So play positive game. Don't leave the ground when other competitors are around the customer. This is another very sincere suggestion. Friends, keep it at the back of your mind. If suppose there are 5 competitors who have come to the clients at the similar time and you have done your job, say you had the appointment, the first appointment, there are 4 more who are going to go. My suggestion is that you be around there till the 5th one has gone in and come out. Never leave the ground, because if you leave the ground, you do not know what the other competitors, any of the competitors will say negative about you and cut your scope. Okay? If you be around, nobody will have the courage to do that, or nobody will have the opportunity to do that. So never leave the ground till you have seen that everybody has got their chance to meet the client, everybody has tried to show their products, all of them have come back, come out, and then you become friends and then ultimately leave the playground. My point is, never leave it that way. So I always say, don't give walkover. Walkover is a game that in which 2 teams in the final, one team does not want to play. They say walkover. We give the walkover. The other party, without even playing, wins the final. This is absolutely not acceptable in the marketing scenario. In the marketing scenario, walkover is not to be given unless it's a real compulsion. I'll tell you where walkover may be all right. Say suppose there is a delivery expected date, by which date you have to give, and you check with your production team. The production team will not be ready to give this particular product by that delivery date. In such cases, you simply can give walkover. But if you are ready with your product, why should you give walkover? Why should you really take negative feedbacks about the other customers from your competitors and then give away? Most common mistakes done by the marketing people is through this. There is certain quick action forward, I'll tell you. If you are convinced and confident about your product, about your price, about your competitors, about your market, about your customer, then go to the market. My suggestion is go to the market and play the marketing game. You should play when you are confident. Yes, I am sure about my product, I am sure what I am going to sell and how I am going to sell, what's its worth, what are the customers and who are the competitors, then go and play in the marketing. Are you aware of the vices of 3C I said earlier? In the beginning, sometime I have said about this 3C, convince, confuse and corrupt. Many of the marketing people, smart, extra smart, hyperactive marketing people think that if they will first win by convincing, if they find no, the client is a tough person, then they will try to first confuse the client and then make a sale. And if suppose if they cannot succeed, then they will corrupt the customer and ultimately sell. Which way they will corrupt? There are n number of ways. My suggestion is, dear friend, no. For God's sake, don't follow the above 3 C's. Don't. You don't have to. You know what you should do is follow the virtues of 3C, not the vices of this. Convince. Yes, you have to convince about your product. Then you conclude the whole process and then you close the deal. And by closing the deal, you have sold the product. Okay, so convince, conclude and close are the 3 C's which are the virtues in marketing. I've talked about the marketing management. There are so many aspects in it. It is related to your product, related to the price, related to your relationship, your personal skill. If I conclude the whole thing and make an assimilation of whatever you have learned so far, it's basically, you will see the soft skill which is going to make you win. What is the final target? Your target is that you are now closing the sale. That's your target. So if you really go through all the aspects that I have discussed in the soft skill till this particular marketing management, then you will find that every time your sales or closing the sales or the success of closing the sales all depends on you as a person. Customers are different, products are different, markets are different, prices are different, value are different, but you are a marketing person. Today you are selling this product, tomorrow you are going to sell another product. third day you are going to sell another product. It all depends that in which company you are shifting from one to another. Okay, the point is, in this, always think that your personality, your poise, your all the soft skills, that's going to be the most valuable thing in your marketing management. It is because of this I have added this negotiation of the marketing management along with the soft skills. Negotiation is a process by which you will be interacting and then ultimately winning over a situation and closing the deal. But negotiation and the marketing almost will be side by side. You do the marketing and then it calls for a negotiation. While doing the negotiation, you are still doing the marketing. So the point is, you don't have to really disintegrate them to understand it. But one thing is very sure, your soft skill is going to be your real assets. So please try to be a soft skill experts. You don't have to be expert in all those kind of soft skills that I said. It's impossible as well. Okay, but there are many things which are very required in this. So this particular field here, I'm concluding. I will then go to a very brief discussion on another very soft skill which people don't really consider as a soft skill, but I consider, yes, above everything, there is one soft skill, that's the time management skill, is very important. I will discuss in my next lecture on this time management skill. Thank you.